Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the MCQ session on the finance current affairs. A very good evening to all of you guys. So I hope I'm audible, I hope I'm visible. Very good evening Chetan, very good evening everyone. Perfect, thank you so much Chetan for confirming. Let's start today's session. So guys, if you haven't registered for this webinar, you can check out the link. It's there in the description section, right? In the description section, and you can definitely join this webinar to have a 60-day study plan for your examination. You can check out the course as well. If you are preparing for RBI Grade B examination 2025, this particular course is having books also, physical books also. Plus, you can download the Oliveboard application as well for all the notifications. Let's quickly start the session, guys. First question: to bolster the activity, public sector banks have instructed to enhance the credit delivery. The aim is to energize the sector specific growth through improved financial access. Which of the following measures are part of this initiative by the PSU banks to boost the MSME credit? So recently, central government has advised the PSU banks to boost the MSME credit, right? Here are the options in front of you. Which one should be the correct answer here? So we'll be practicing close to 30-35 questions, right, related to the finance current affairs that we yesterday discussed. Everyone in the comment section, what should be the correct choice here? Here the correct choice is option A. Okay, option A is the correct choice, identifying the 50 high employment MSME clusters for targeted lending, right? That's the correct choice. Next is to expand the financial access. A new tech enabled system called the Generic Credit Score GCS is being deployed. The system aims to make credit decisions more inclusive and data driven. The GCS system is being specifically designed for which of the following borrower category? For which of the following borrower category? Option A, small corporations and MSMEs. Option B, rural borrowers and priority sector lending applicants. Option C, MSMEs, rural and semi-urban borrowers and priority sector lending applicants. Option D, rural, semi-urban borrowers and priority sector lending applicants. Or option E, all of the above. Okay, so I'm getting one response as of now that all of the above, option E. Okay, what about others, guys? Everyone has to participate in this session. What about others? What do you think should be the correct choice here? The correct option, guys, here will be option B, rural borrowers and the priority sector lending applicants, right? Rural borrowers and the priority sector lending applicants. Okay, option B here will be the correct choice, option B. Okay, it's not for others, rural borrowers and priority sector lending applicants. Next is in May 2025, retail inflation, we are talking about the consumer price index. So it was at the lowest level, right, over the 6 years. So here what should be the correct choice? What was the recorded CPI retail inflation rate in May 2025? A very simple question, a very direct question. The level was 2.82%, right? 2.82% was the level of CPI here. Perfect. Next question. To increase transparency and improve the portfolio diversification, some mutual fund structures invest in other mutual fund schemes. some mutual fund structures invest in other mutual fund schemes instead of directly investing in equity or debt instrument. This layered investment strategy is often used to optimize the risk and returns. What is the type of mutual fund investment structure commonly known as? Index funds and ETF, balanced advantage, open-ended index funds only, or fund of funds? This is a type of mutual fund which is again investing in mutual funds. So can I say that this is a fund of fund? This is a fund of fund, right? So option E here will be the correct choice, fund of funds. Next, to monitor the quality of supervisory data submitted by the banks, the RBI tracks the SDQI, which aggregates multiple metrics to evaluate the reliability. In March 2025, the index was reported with new values. What was the SDQI value reported for the scheduled commercial banks, SCBs, as of March 2025? For scheduled commercial banks for March 2025, so we all know that new data has been released. I have also recorded a detailed video on this SDQI index. This is very important for your examination. Please do watch that particular video as well, right? The correct choice here is D, 89.3. Okay, 89.3 is the data related to scheduled commercial bank. Acha, to strengthen the derivative market and provide a better price discovery, SEBI has approved a new futures contract as of now, right? SEBI has provided access to NSE, National Stock Exchange, related to a new future contract. So what instrument has been recently approved for the monthly future trading? Is it crude oil? Is it water? Is it electricity, copper, or renewable energy credits? We have discussed yesterday only. And the correct choice here is electricity futures, right? So SEBI has recently given approval to National Stock Exchange for launching the electricity futures, right? Next question. In the March 2025 report, some banking categories showed a decline in their SDQI index compared to the previous year. Which banking groups witnessed a fall in their SDQI score in March 2025 as compared to March 2024? So which banking groups here witnessed a fall in the DQI index? Option A, public sector bank and small finance bank. Option B, private sector bank and small finance bank. Option C, private sector bank and foreign banks. Option D, scheduled commercial banks and foreign banks. And option E, SCBs and SFBs. Everyone in the comment section, guys, what do you think should be the correct choice here? And the correct choice here is option A, public sector banks and small finance bank. Okay, option A here is the correct choice, public sector bank and small finance bank. Acha, tell me, the supervisory data quality index is used by the RBI to do what? To assess the quality of data that is submitted by the various banks. Higher score will definitely reflect a better compliance. Among the category of the bank assessed, which category of the bank has recorded the highest SDQI score according to the recent RBI data? Highest SDQI score according to the recent RBI data. Private sector, public sector, foreign bank, small finance bank, or option A and C? What is the probability of SEBI grade A exam in 2025? Look, as of now we don't have any information related to SEBI grade A examination, right? बाकी लोगों के पास भी I don't think there is any information as of now for SEBI grade A examination. However, if you are targeting the examination, I highly recommend you to start your preparation, right? With or without the course, that's a personal choice always. However, as of now I don't have the information. The moment I get the information, I'll definitely make a YouTube video on it, right? Here the correct answer is, guys, ऑप्शन डी स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक. ओके, द हाईएस्ट इंक्रीज नहीं पूछ रहा, हाईएस्ट DQI स्कोर पूछ रहा हूं ऑफ मार्च 2025. द करेक्ट आंसर हियर विल बी स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक. ओके, स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, to ensure robust data governance, RBI has set 4 specific parameters to evaluate the quality of data submission by the bank. These parameters help in assessing the performance based on the reported figures. Which of the following is not at all a parameter used by the SDQI index? Which of the following is not at all a parameter that is used for SDQI index? We are using 4 parameters as of now. One parameter is not at all a prescribed parameter that is being used for SDQI index. Which one of the following is not at all used for SDQI index? Timeliness, relevance, completeness, accuracy, consistency. Yes, the correct choice here will be option B, relevance. Okay, ऐसा कोई पैरामीटर नहीं है. Rest of the 4 parameters are already there in the prescribed. Okay, so this SDQI data is very, very important for your examination. Next, the SDQI measure the quality submitted by the banks across the 4 parameters. We already have seen the parameters. A decline in any of these parameters could indicate a reporting gap or operational inefficiencies. Which of the following parameter of the SDQI index showed a decline in the latest assessment? Which of the following parameter of the SDQI index showed a decline in the latest assessment? So here we are having 5 options: timeliness, accuracy, completeness, consistency, or all of the above. 4 में से एक में डिक्लाइन आया था, बाकी सब में स्लाइट मार्जिनली इंक्रीज ही है. एक के अंदर डिक्लाइन आया था. Which is the one? Guys, the correct answer here is option D, consistency. I think it was completeness. Okay, so there was some issue, I think, in the option. I think it was completeness. Okay, so this question is subject to review. This question is subject to review. I think it was completeness in which there was a decline. Okay, please check this once. Right, please check this once. Next is to enhance the security in digital investment transaction and protect the investor from fraud. SEBI has introduced a new support tool. This tool allows the user to verify the recipient's payment credentials like UPI ID, IFSCA, and bank account before initiating a transaction. What is the name of the investor support tool introduced by the SEBI? SEBI has recently announced a support tool that will ensure whether we are having correct UPI ID, whether we are paying the correct UPI ID, IFSC code and bank account. All the things can be easily verified from this tool. What is the name of this tool? Yes, SEBI check is the name of the tool, right? SEBI check is the name of that tool. Option A. Acha, NPCI has also described a particular handle. Okay, because NPCI has been given the responsibility to verify and assign a UPI handle. So NPCI has given a handle. Which standard UPI handle format is being used by the NPCI after the verification? @invest, @verify, @secure, valid, or trade? The correct answer here is option D, valid. Okay, @valid is the correct handle which is being prescribed by the NPCI as of now. Next question. To curb the inflationary pressure and reduce the imports cost, the government of India has reduced the import duty on certain edible oils, right? So what is the new revised basic custom duty on certain edible oils as of now? What is the new basic custom duty on revised edible certain edible oils. What is the revised basic custom duty, BCD? The correct choice here is option E, 10%. Okay, 10% here is the correct choice. Next is insurance companies often prefer long duration predictable income instruments that match the timeline of their obligations like annuities. A recent RBI initiative has now enabled these firms to benefit from the bond component with predefined maturity flows, right? Here we are talking about the strips in the securities, right? So which is the one which is getting the highest benefit out of it? Yes, insurance firms, right? Insurance firms and pension sector firms, they are getting a high benefit because of this strips. Acha, what do you can you tell me the full form of the word strips? Okay, it has a full form. It's not a word, it's have a full form. What is the full form of the word strips? Yes, very good. Option B here is the correct choice. Please do remember this strips wala circular, very very important. Separate trading of registered interest and principal of securities, right? Separate trading of registered interest and principal of security. Separate treatment wala galat hai, because independently these interest and principal securities are easily tradable in the market, right? RBI recently permitted the use of strip in prescribed entities, making these long-term instruments more liquid. However, not all the securities are eligible. Strips have been allowed in which of the following categories? Strips have been allowed in which of the following category? Treasury bill, central government floating rate bonds, public limited companies having net worth of 1000 crore, state government securities, or option B, C and D. Confusion का कोई point ही नहीं बनता. The correct answer is state government securities, right? The correct answer here is state government securities. है ना? Very good everyone. Only certain types of state government securities are eligible for stripping into tradable zero coupon component under the new RBI initiative. One key eligibility condition relates to the type of interest payment. One key eligibility condition relates to the type of interest payment. According to the RBI guidelines, which of the following securities are eligible for strips? Securities with floating interest rate? No. Fixed coupon rate securities? Yes. Zero coupon perpetual bonds? No. Both A and B? No. Callable state development loans? Option B here is the correct choice, right? Fixed coupon rate securities. Acha, can you also tell me, guys, what is the minimum residual maturity allowed for a security to qualify for strips? Minimum residual maturity. It's not like that you can issue security of 1 or 2 year, 3 year. You need to have a longer duration which is pending, right? Less than equal to 20 year, less than equal to 10 year, 14 year, 7 year, 5 years. What should be the correct choice here? The correct choice here is 14 years, okay? Option C, less than or equal to 14 year, that's the maximum period, okay? That's the maximum period, less than or equal to 14 years. Acha, what will be the minimum outstanding amount for securities to be eligible for stripping? Let's suppose if I want to separate a state government security as interest component and principal component, what should be the bare minimum outstanding amount of this bond for the eligibility to do the stripping work? Yes, very good. The correct choice here is option A, 1000 crore. Okay, the bond must be at least have a payable, have a outstanding amount of 1000 crore. Below that we don't even touch the bond, right? That's the bare minimum amount. तो ये सिर्फ बड़े ट्रांजेक्शन के लिए नहीं होता है. ऐसा नहीं कि हर किसी को उठा के स्ट्रिपिंग में डाल दिया. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज दैट हैज बीन इन्वॉल्व, राइट. आप इतने बड़े बॉन्ड को ब्रेक करने वाले हो, उसके इंटरेस्ट कॉम्पोनेंट्स बेचने वाले हो, उसके प्रिंसिपल को. अभी इंटरेस्ट कॉम्पोनेंट एक नहीं होता, देयर इज नो वन इंटरेस्ट कॉम्पोनेंट. 10 ईयर का बॉन्ड है तो 10 इंटरेस्ट कॉम्पोनेंट हो जाएंगे, 10 बेच सकते हो. तो 10 तो इंटरेस्ट कॉम्पोनेंट हो गए, 1 प्रिंसिपल हो गया, टोटल 11 सिक्योरिटीज हो गई, राइट. सो दिस इज नॉट एट ऑल अलाउड फॉर स्मॉल वैल्यू आइटम्स. अब इसमें इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज आएंगी तो आप लोगों को क्या लगता है 1-2 करोड़ 5 करोड़ लेके आएगी? बिल्कुल नहीं. 500 करोड़, 1000 करोड़, 1000 करोड़, 10,000 करोड़, इतना अमाउंट लेके आएंगी, राइट. नेक्स्ट, for stripped securities to maintain their regulatory utility, RBI has mandated that eligible securities must satisfy specific banking norms as well, which helps the banks hold these instruments without breaching the liquidity requirements. What regulatory compliance must the eligible security meet for strips to be allowed? So I have incorporated a lot of questions from this stripping wala concept. Why? Because this is exam oriented, right? I don't want to stretch the session unnecessarily by bringing more and more questions that won't come in the examination, right? We only follow a targeted approach always. We don't try to stretch the session by bringing more and more questions. Quality over quantity always is the rule, right? We always need to have quality rather than quantity of the question. Majority of the finance current affairs that we cover in newspaper, that we see in the news, won't come in the examination, right? We need to filter those as well. Yes, very good everyone. Statutory liquidity ratio compliance, right? So these strips should be statutory liquidity ratio compliant so that the banks can easily invest in these securities and fulfill the SLR compliance as well. देखो यार, CRR तो बिल्कुल ही गलत हो गया, वो तो RBI के साथ रखना पड़ता है ना. ऐसा थोड़ी है कि सिक्योरिटी में इन्वेस्ट कर दोगे तो CRR फुलफिल हो जाएगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. यू नीड टू मेंटेन द CRR विद द RBI, राइट. अच्छा, कैन एनीवन टेल मी अ कैटेगरी ऑफ बैंक विच कैन कीप CRR विद इटसेल्फ रादर देन RBI? क्या ऐसी कोई कैटेगरी होती है क्या बैंक की जो कि खुद के साथ CRR रख सकते हैं रादर देन कीपिंग इट to a bank, to the RBI? Maintaining, instead of maintaining the CRR with the RBI, they can maintain with themselves. Do research about it, okay? Do research about it. As of now I got only one response, non-scheduled. Okay, non-scheduled, Shivam, Chetan, Aditi. Yes. Okay, next question. The RBI move to allow strips helps creating tradable instruments that suit the investment needs of the long-term investor. These instruments result from splitting the interest and principal component. What do separated components of the strips are traded in the market? Let's suppose there were 10 interest payments of 10 years and there was one single short repayment, so I can create 11 securities out of it. हर साल का इंटरेस्ट पीरियड में अलग से बेच सकता हूं, राइट. नाउ हाउ आई विल बी सेलिंग इट? आई टोल्ड यू दैट दिस इज अ पेन. आई कैन नॉट प्रॉमिस इंटरेस्ट रेट ऑन ईच एंड एवरी कॉम्पोनेंट सेपरेटली, दैट टू कंटिन्यूअस बेसिस, ऑन अ कंटिन्यूअस बेसिस. दैट्स व्हाई द बेस्ट वे इज टू इशू अ जीरो कूपन बॉन्ड. Issue that security at a discount and redeem it at a face value. That's the best solution, right? Next, to allow flexibility and exit options for investor, RBI has enabled reverse process of combining the separated strips back into the original bond form. This adds to investor confidence and market depth. What platform will be used to recombine the stripped securities into the original bonds? So let's suppose I have done a stripping here, right? Now I have separate component of interest and principal. Now I want to again consolidate this into a single bond. Is that possible? Yes, that's possible. How it is possible? Here the correct choice is eCuber platform, right? eCuber platform, option B. To promote financial inclusion across underserved and the low income population, The RBI is developing new digital tools. These tools will focus on reaching population that lack access to the new aged phones or broadband internet. Those phones that lack the broadband internet basically. What type of device will RBI's upcoming financial app be compatible with? Yes, Chetan, we call that process reconstruction, when we are converting a stripped security into a consolidated one, right? Reconstruction is what we call it. Yes, feature phone, right? So RBI is considering bringing a digital tool for the feature phones. Option D. Next, to strengthen the vocational education and job readiness, a major international lender has approved a project specific loan for India's most industrialized state. The loan focuses on enhancing the employability. यहीं से आंसर क्लिक हो जाना चाहिए. Most industrialized state. Which Indian state is the focus of ADB's, Asian Development Bank's $109 million loan for skill development and employability? Here the correct answer is option A, Gujarat. Okay, it's for the state Gujarat, right? So ADB has recently provided a loan facility for the skill development and employability in the state of Gujarat. Where you can find the PDF of the session. So please check our application as well as the Telegram channel of Oliveboard. Okay, Sonam, please check the Telegram channel of Oliveboard as well as the application. Definitely you will be getting the PDF of this particular session. Right, most of the times it's been uploaded at the Telegram channel of Oliveboard. Right? Okay, next question. Amid surplus liquidity in the financial system, RBI has made a strategic change in its monetary operation by suspending a daily instrument. This move is aimed at avoiding the excess liquidity infusion. Which operation did the RBI discontinue amid the ongoing liquidity surplus? So we are already having a lot of surplus here. Okay. So इधर दो ऑप्शन में देखो कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है, ऑप्शन बी और ऑप्शन ई. एक तो ऑप्शन बी हो सकता है डेली VRR ऑप्शन, एक ऑप्शन ई हो सकता है डेली VRRR ऑप्शन. सो दिस इज बेसिकली द रिवर्स रेपो रेट वाला ऑप्शन. यहां पे आप आरबीआई से नहीं लेते हो, आरबीआई आपसे लेता है, राइट, लोन. In the option B, RBI is giving you the loan facility, right, as VRR, variable repo rate auctions. This is the variable reverse repo rate auctions, right? So अभी liquidity ज़्यादा है इसलिए VRR auctions को बंद किया है ना. Option B is the correct choice here. Liquidity और ज़्यादा हो गई, so definitely they will be going for this particular auction in order to absorb the excess liquidity. As of now, the correct choice here is option B. Right, option B. Next, two of the India's key digital payment infrastructure institutions are working together to enhance the cybersecurity in the growing digital payment ecosystem. This partnership aims to secure transactions and infrastructure. Which two institutions are collaborating to strengthen the cybersecurity in India's digital payment ecosystem? The correct choice is option C, IDRBT and NPCI. Okay, IDRBT and NPCI. Very good, everyone. Next, in a bid to raise funds for rural lending, a prominent microfinance institution secured a syndicated loan facility. The loan includes support from multiple international banks across the South Asia and Far East. Which institution raised a $100 million multi-currency social loan recently? Multi-currency social loan via external commercial borrowing. Yes, Chetan. Here the correct choice is Credit Access Grameen. Okay, option E here is the correct choice. So this is the first microfinance institution which has taken a loan here in multi-currency social loan, right, via ECB. That's the special thing about this particular loan. Otherwise loan तो सभी लेते ही हैं उसमें. India's trade performance improved in May 2025 due to stronger service exports and lower oil import cost. This led to a significant year-on-year movement in the trade gap. What was the India's overall trade deficit recorded in May 2025? Overall trade deficit. Correct answer is 6.6 billion US dollar. Okay, 6.6 billion US dollar. Next question. Wholesale inflation in India fell to its lowest point in over a year, indicating a broader trend of easing the price pressure. The decline was largely attributable to falling prices of fuel and manufactured goods. What was the WPI inflation rate reported for May 2025? And the correct choice here is option B, 0.39%, right? Is the lowest as of now. India's forex reserve saw a notable surge in June 2025, reflecting higher capital inflows and improved external account stability. What was the new level of India's forex reserve as of mid-June 2025, the very recent data that was published? The correct choice is option C. Okay, option C is the correct choice. Very good, Aditi and Chetan. Next, India's foreign exchange reserve saw a biggest increase in the specific component. Which component of India's forex reserve increased the most, reaching 587.7 billion out of the total reserve? इस टोटल रिजर्व के अंदर सबसे बड़ा कंपोनेंट किसका है? SDR होल्डिंग्स, गोल्ड रिजर्व, फॉरेन करेंसी असेट, रिजर्व ट्रांच विद IMF, कमर्शियल बैंक डिपॉजिट्स. Yes, FCA, foreign currency asset, has the highest share, right? Option C. Next, to raise long-term funds at deep discount, NABARD has been permitted to issue zero coupon bonds, right? So what was the amount that NABARD is planning to raise through deep discount zero coupon bonds? We have learned that the deep discount zero coupon bonds are being used. The face value, let's suppose, is 100. The name says it all that it is deep discount bond, right? So that means the issue price is quite less. Let's suppose 50, let's suppose 40, or maybe 60. Why? Because it's a long-term nature wala loan. Okay, so guys, you need to remember only the foreign exchange reserve that are being published, the recent data just before your examination, right? And the close of the financial year, right? Three kind of data we need to remember, irrespective of whenever the data is getting published. Do remember that 3 times we need to remember it. The first one is the close of the financial year, right? The close of the financial year positively for your examination will be March 2025, right? In case in the entire year, if there is a sudden spike or decline in the data related to anything, let's suppose foreign exchange reserve, you need to remember that sudden decline or spike or decline as well, right? Whatever the case may be. And the data which is very recent, just before your examination, right? Particularly the last month data. Here the correct choice will be option D, 19,500 crore, right? 19,500 crore. Next is under RBI's liquidity adjustment facility. We have discussed about the corridor as well, right? LAF corridor. The policy corridor defines the operational boundaries for the overnight rates. The lowest and the highest rate in the band are known as the floor and ceiling. What are the floor and the ceiling component of the LAF corridor? What should be the correct choice here, guys? Yes, the correct choice here is SDF and MSF, right? So do remember the sequence. They have written floor and ceiling. So the floor is always SDF and the ceiling is always MSF. Option C is correct, right? Option C is correct here. To channel more credit to productive sector, PSU banks have been directed to implement a multi-pronged strategy. This includes multiple processes. Which of the following statement about this directive is or are correct? Banks will identify 50 high employment MSME cluster. Loan melas will be held to improve the retail credit access. Due diligence in underwriting will be strengthened. Target support will be given to the capital intensive and job generating sector, or all of the above. So what do you think, guys? Which statement is correct here? और या फिर सारी की सारी statement correct है? क्या लगता है? देखो first वाली statement तो correct है. This particular statement we have studied. I think this was the first question in today's session, right? Yes, all of the above statements are correct here. Option E. Okay, all of the above statements are correct. When the financial system faces a shortage of liquidity, the market rate starts moving upward within the LAF corridor. In such conditions, the borrowing becomes costlier for the banks. During a liquidity crunch, overnight rates are expected to rise towards which of the following? Let's suppose there is a liquidity crunch. So what will happen to the corridor, to the LAF corridor? The overnight rates are expected to rise towards which of the following? So at the top we do have MSF. At the lower end we are having SDF, and in between we do have repo rate. So in case if there is a liquidity crunch, that means there is a lack of liquidity, what will happen to the overnight rates? Will it move towards SDF downwards? Will it move towards MSF, or will it stay at repo rate? Everyone has to share their opinion on this particular question. This will be the last question for today. So as of now, I have only received response of Atiti and Chetan. Atiti is saying repo rate, Chetan is saying SDF. What about others? देखो सबसे पहले तो मैं कॉल मनी रेट हटा देता हूँ, रिवर्स रेपो रेट हटा देता हूँ. We have to select from these three options, right? We have to select from these three options. As of now in the LAF corridor, we are having only three options: MSF, RR, repo rate and SDF. The correct choice here is MSF. Okay, marginal is the correct choice here. Why? Because whenever liquidity crunch happen, banks try to take loans from wherever they can. So they are even ready to take at a higher amount at a emergency funding wala rates bhi avail hote hain. So the LAF moves to the ceiling part, right? The MSF part. Here the option A is the correct choice, right? So thank you so much, guys. That's all for today. Thank you so much for attending the session, and thank you so much for showing the active participation. See you soon in the next session. Happy weekend. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care. Wish you a very happy weekend. Definitely do your revision. Okay, weekend should not be for the rest, right? Don't rest, do the revision things. Try to cover all the finance current affairs related to this particular month, right? And try to cover the previous month as well. Do a quick revision, okay, of this particular half month and the previous month. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Chetan. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.